Good day, everyone. The topic is all about chemistry of the environment. First, let me explain to you all about the atmosphere of the Earth. Now, the atmospheric chemistry studies the chemical composition of natural atmosphere, the way gases, liquids, and solids in the atmosphere interact with each other, together with the Earth's surface and associated biodata, and how human activities may be changing the chemical and physical characteristics of the atmosphere. Now, it is interesting to take note that the prize in chemistry 1995 was awarded to the atmospheric scientists Crutzen, Molina, and Rowland for convenience of study. Now, the atmospheric scientists divide the atmosphere as if it consists of four layers. Now, the division is mainly due to temperature variations as the altitude increases. Now, the four layers according to the variation of temperature. Ionosphere contains electrically charged ions due to UV radiation and acts more plasma than a gas. It is found above 100 kilometers. Mesosphere. It is around 50 to 100 kilometers, where temperature decreases with increasing altitude. It is where species such as hydroxyl radical, atomic hydrogen, nitric oxide, etc. are found. Stratosphere. It is around 10 to 50 kilometers, where temperature increases with altitude due to UV absorption by ozone layer. Now, what is this ozone layer? Now, the ozone layer is located at the upper stratosphere, absorbing harmful UV rays. Lastly is troposphere. Troposphere is found around 0 to 10 kilometers and considered the lowest layer and the lowest ozone concentration. It mostly contains nitrogen, partly oxygen, and 1% of argon. It contains gases like water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, and others. Also, it only has 10% airflow pressure on top, making it negative 0.1 atm. Now, let's tackle about the human activities and the Earth atmosphere.
So now let's proceed to key human activities impacting the atmosphere. So number one, we have burning fossil fuels. So when we burn coal, oil and gas like in power plants, factories, or cars, it releases carbon dioxide into the air. So this contributes to global warming by trapping heat in the atmosphere. It also causes air pollution, making the air harmful to breathe. So number two is deforestation. So cutting down trees reduces the number of plants that absorb CO2 from the air. So these trees acts as a natural filter. So when they're gone, more CO2 stays in the atmosphere, contributing to global warming. Now let's proceed to number three is agricultural and livestock. So farming and raising animals like cows produce gases such as methane and nitrous oxide. So these gases are much more harmful than CO2 and contributing to global warming. So number four, industrial processes. So factories and industries release various gases including CO2 and other chemicals. So that pollute the air and contribute to climate change. So lastly, number five, transportation. So like cars, trucks, airplanes, and ships burns fossil fuels, right? Now, it releases gases like carbon monoxide and nitrogen oxides. So these pollutants not only harm in health but also contributing to global warming and create smog in cities. Now let's proceed to the major impacts on the atmosphere. So number one, we have global warming. So emissions of CO2 from burning fossil fuels and deforestation. So it traps heat, causing temperature rise. So also melting ice and extreme weather. So number two, we have ozone depletion. So chemicals like CFCs from products like air conditioners, it damages the ozone layer, letting harmful UV rays reach Earth, increasing health risk. So So number three, we have air pollution. So emissions from factories, cars, and burning materials. It harms health, causes smog, and leads to acid rain. Cycle disruption. Human activities affecting natural cycles. It disrupts weather patterns, seasons, and ecosystems. Now let's proceed to the efforts to mitigate human impact. Number one, we have international agreements. So countries come together to create global rules and goals to protect the environment. So, for example, the Paris Agreement. It aims to limit global warming by reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Number two is renewable energy. So, energy from sources that don't pollute like solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal power. It reduces reliance on fossil fuels, helping to lower carbon emissions and combat climate change. So, number three is reforestation and conservation. So, planting trees and protecting forests to absorb CO2 and preserve wildlife. It helps restore ecosystem, it reduces carbon in the atmosphere and prevent deforestation. So number four is mm, sustainable practices. So using resources wisely without harming the environment, like recycling, reducing waste, and using eco-friendly products, and it helps conserve natural resources and reduces pollution. Lastly, technological innovation. So, new technologies that help reduce the environmental harm, like electric cars, carbon captures, and energy efficient devices. It reduces pollution, energy use, and carbon emissions, helping to protect the planet. And now let's proceed Earth's water. So water, it is Earth's vital natural resource that covers about 71% of the planet's surface. It exists in various forms across three primary reservoirs: oceans, fresh waters, and atmospheric water. So oceans. So these constitute 90% of Earth's water, primarily saline, and regulate climate through distribution and carbon recycling. Fresh water accounts for only 22.5%, mainly stored in glaciers, ice caps, rivers, lakes, and groundwater. So less than 1% of fresh water is readily accessible for human use.
Atmospheric water, present as before it drives the water cycling involving evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and runoff, ensuring water distribution across ecosystem. Human activity significantly impact water resources, affecting viability, equality, and ecosystem health. Muna siya ang atong mga ginabuhat bitaw para maapektuhan atong kuan, maapektuhan ang atong ecosystem. Pollution. Industrial activities release heavy materials, chemicals, and toxins into rivers and ocean. Agricultural runoff introducing fertilizer and pesticides cause eutrophication and algal blooms that divide oxygen in water bodies. So, it's domestic waste and plastic pollution sa rivers o sa lake and ocean, harming economic life on ecosystem. Overuse, sustainable instruction of agriculture, industry, and domestic use debates, water ground and surface water, leading to short stage climate change after precipitation patterns causing droughts, floods, and glacier melting, disrupting the global water cycle. Habitat destruction, urbanization, dams construction, and wetland drainage degrade aquatic ecosystem and biodiversity. Next is earth soil. Soil is a critical component of Earth's surface, supporting plants grow, storing water, and cycling nutrients essential for ecosystem. It forms through weathering of rocks over thousands of years and varies when decomposition. So ang soil is mo na siya ang component sa Earth surface na to. Nag-support siya sa plants para mo grow bitaw nga. Then nagkuha siya. Form siya through form siya through weathering of rocks over 1,000 years.
So, soil is a critical natural resource made up of four key components: the minerals, organic matter, water, and air. So, these elements work together to support life on Earth. So, there are functions of soil. First is agriculture and forestry. So, soil serve as a growth medium for plants, enabling food and fiber production. Second is water regulation. So it stores and filters water, playing a significant role in the hydrological cycle. So third is climate regulation. So soil regulates carbon and nitrogen cycles, impacting climate stability. Fourth is habitat. So it provides a home for diverse organisms like microorganisms and invertebrates, essential for ecological balance. So soil has three classification. So soils classified based on texture, fertility, and chemical properties. So let's proceed to the human activities and Earth's soil. So human impact on soil, human activities exert significant pressure on soil health. First is deforestation. So deforestation removes tree cover, increasing erosion. Second is agriculture. Overuse of land and chemical depletes soil nutrients. Third is urbanization. Urbanization sells soil with concrete, disrupting its natural function. Fourth is climate change. Climate change alters soil moisture and fertility. So, let's proceed to the conservation strategies to protect soil.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lunso Alvin Piasibat, and we're going to talk about green chemistry. Green chemistry, also known as sustainable chemistry, focuses on designing chemical as product and process that minimize environmental impact, reduce waste and promote sustainability. Next are the key principles of green chemistry. It is developed by Paul Anastas and John Warner. The 12 principles of green chemistry provide a framework for sustainability. So these are the key principles of green chemistry. So these are the applications of green chemistry. One is pharmaceuticals, renewable energy, polymers and plastics, agriculture, cleaner industrial process. Next is we have the benefits of green chemistry. Environmental protection reduces pollution at source, minimizes toxic waste, and lowers greenhouse gas emissions. 2 is health and safety, decrease exposure to hazardous substances for workers and consumers. And number 3 is economic efficiency, improves resource utilization, reduces cost of waste disposal, and enhances process efficiency. Number 4 is sustainability, promotes the use of renewable resources, ensuring long-term environmental and economic balance. So those are the benefits of green chemistry. So it's all of our report. Thank you guys for listening.